Alright, this one's the main character of the cast. And it's also me, Red Rat Gamer, the one who's been doing all the voice acting. And as you see, right there, in the relationship part, I'm a younger brother. And that's true. I'm always the younger brother. And my goal is to be a hero. And of course, occupation is also true because I've been playing games, well, for a very long time actually. I haven't stopped playing games for every day now. Of course, my little catchphrase, which I think that's short quote, I'm not too certain, it's let's light it up! And my favorite color is blue. That part's always gonna be true. Of course, hobby is also true. And so it's a food drink, yay! Alright, I think that's all you should know about me. Of course, I'm not gonna be very rare at all, because you'll be seeing me a lot during the Gacha game roll. That little star with their numbers on it will tell you how often you'll be able to see character. And since you see a 1, it's not very often at all. Which, no wait, I meant to say it is very often. You get to see it all the time. But yeah, I'm the one doing everything around here, ain't I? And I'll just start this off with showing myself and my 2 creations first. Alright, Fierce Drago's up next. Fierce Drago. Do you know some people that do this punch first, talk later type thing? That's him. He is actually born from, well, whenever I'm raging. That's basically when I thought of using him more. Whenever I'm mad, I just think it's Fierce Drago controlling me. But now he's a separate character. Of course, the fiery layout you see behind him, basically he's a dragon. And he's already dead. I mean, literally, he's dead. So you guys should know where he's at right now. His little catchphrase is, "I'll burn you alive!" And he wants to get revenge for his dead dragon race, along with his family. They died to the human race. So he wants to get revenge on us. Of course, I call him rival because he's pretty strong himself. And he's mostly angry, and yeah, dead. He doesn't have a birthday now. But of course, Fierce Drago on the channel normally does those little Fierce Drago challenges because he wanted to be separated from the rest of the cast. He wanted to be special himself since he was the first ever creation of mine. He is my first ever original creation. Fierce Drago the Dragonoid. Alright. Oh yeah, and he's hot-headed too, so don't go into a fight with him. Alright, I think that's all I'll talk about for Fierce Drago. Up next is Glitchazoid. Glitchazoid. My first ever final boss. That was originally for my comic series, but now he's one of the 3 members of the CJ Game Roll Trio. Well, it's mainly me, aka Red Track, and Fierce Drago, and this guy, Glitchazoid. He's literally known as a glitch of reality. The reality part came from Timmy Raptors. I just thought it sounded cool. But his main only 2 colors is black and white. Not yellow, it's white. That is how I originally drew. Well, actually, if you guys don't know why he's black and white, I just thought he looked actually good that way. when I drew him on paper, he actually looked good in black and white, so I decided to keep it like that for his main colors. It didn't seem like he didn't need anything else. Of course, he now has a son named Zoacy, who's his little glitch doll who could fit in the palm of your hand. Just don't squish it. He will in your life. Oh yeah, which actually, speaking about final boss, yeah, he's incredibly smart. I mean, if you try to backstab him, he is one step ahead of you. He'll cancel your backstabbing, and he'll kill you if he feels like it. He can also outsmart one on the planet since, well, it's actually his whole body is a glitch, so yeah. He ain't originally meant to be here, but he is. In the game world, he has a deep voice. He doesn't have his own little playlist, but he's known for being a boss character of my own. He was my second original character. Of course, his first design was a bit strange. Alright. Glitchazoid has tons of powers, and I think he deserved the title Megalovania, but by the time that battle comes, I think I may have a different tone. He also did the Glitchovania Megalovania lyric you can see in the channel. Alright. And he's dark. He's also 7 rarity. He's known as final boss for arena. For a reason. So yeah. Oh yeah, he likes to eat glitches, but they just taste a bit bad. Until he found out that he likes broccoli better. Of course, his catchphrase is, "I will glitch your reality." And he wants to become the ruler of our world. Alright. I think that's all I'm going to be talking about for Glitchazoid. Let's move on to the Gacha World members. First thing I had to put out. I didn't think of Lucky as in that little robot's name from Sonic X. Oh no, Lucky is a different type of character. She basically likes to be around trees a lot, as she has the power to make them grow. The little symbol on her cheek, which I think you could barely even see. Even I can't see it. But there's a little symbol on her cheek that will glow in the color of light green whenever she's in need of help. Whenever she's about to be severely injured. Like when Alista was about to do the foul blow against me and she tried to protect me from the sharp guitar axe to her face. She blocked it with the green shield. But that only comes once in a while. Her weapon is that little green wand. Do you want to help the rainforest? Oh, the quote. I think that quote's wrong. Sorry guys, I forgot to change that. Her favorite color is actually yellow, not green. And her age is 8. Of course, she doesn't have much of a favorite food or drink right now. She just likes eating some sunflower seeds every few often. And she's pretty much the smallest kid in Gacha High, which is a school I'm naming. So I'm naming the school for this little playlist. Or not little, but she can be quite lucky sometimes, but not all the time. Her powers just revolve around growing plants and even helping nature itself. That's what she loves to do. And as for the little ears on her head, I think we could just confirm that she's a little inkling, if you guys want to call it that. I just think it looks like an inkling ears too. And so, she's first one of the elemental trio students. Sorry, I just didn't think of a name for that. But it's the elemental trio students. Yeah. The next one will be part of the fire element. Which actually she always tries to help out whenever she can. Alright, that's enough for Lucky. I'm gonna talk about the fire one next. Kyle. He's quite a basketball player. He can run hoops around you while causing a bit of a flame. They always need a fire hydrant in waiting, just in case he gets a bit over the top with it. Like, if the ego gets the best of him, his head will literally go on fire. It won't phase him though, but may phase the opposites around him that are made of wood. Of course, like I said earlier, his favorite sport is basketball, as he holds one in his hand. And he's quite the athlete because he can literally jump over someone with it while trying to play basketball. And he wants to become a pro player. But of course, he did have someone that he needed to care for. He doesn't actually have a mom or dad anymore. They both died during the little accident. Of course, Kyle was able to escape unharmed, but his sister Cry wasn't able to. Yeah, that little last video of Gacha Life, episode 3, that was true. Cry really was bleeding. It just gets a bit rough in life. Of course, he always tries to put on a smile on his face, just to let him know that he's okay. He's trying not to let others stress over him. It's his own deed. Of course, someone was always nice enough to help him out during that time of need. Of course, now that he doesn't need to worry about Cry as much anymore, since she's all better now, he could be able to do some athletic stuff. Of course, he does know a little something about the school. He knows that Lisa does have a good heart. Just gotta give her a bit of a chance. Of course, that was after Elisa actually helped Cry back to normal. And so Kyle goes on to try to beat everyone in the next basketball game for his school. He's known as top player in the school, so nobody can beat him in it. Not even you. Unless you're fire element, then you could possibly take him. Or water, because that's super effective against whenever he turns the basketball on fire. Of course, the basketball is always fine. Alright, that's enough about Kyle. Let's go on to the water element in the trio. Alright, she's the only one with the fishtail. And her name revolves around the sea, where she was born. Well, not exactly inside the sea, but she was born in a hospital that was nearby the beach. So yeah, her name came from Aqua. And then, that's why when she was born, her water element was drawn from the power of water that was nearby her when she was born. She's kind of silly sometimes, making some little jokes. Not bad ones. Actually, some water jokes. Of course, she's kind of also a model. In case you didn't wonder about the little thing on her forehead, She's actually into Shakespeare. She's good singing. She's good at singing. And she's also pretty good at swimming, acclaimed with that little fishtail on her back. Her little catchphrase is, "Get washed up." Revolving around when there's a big wave coming. Of course, she's the last one of the trio. But she's also one of the nicest and funniest ones. Of course, there ain't much to her, except that she's also part wolf, if you can't tell by the ears. Each person has their own little species. And she doesn't actually have a sister or brother. She's basically an only child. Kinda sad. But of course, she has lots of friends that she made laugh with her little jokes. Maybe she'll have a great future. But of course, her powers are whenever she's around Kyle, she always washes him up whenever he gets a bit hot-headed. Whenever he gets full of himself. But there ain't much to Aqua. She's just also calm. Anyway, that's enough about Aqua. Let's get on to the other people. Well, there are two people with the school that I'm going to be talking about that don't have powers. Let's get to them now. Of course, we couldn't forget about Cry herself. She actually last starred in episode 3. Of course, she won't be that rare. She's a little sister to Kyle. In fact, that little accident, it did happen. She was actually riding in a backseat in the child seat, but she got very injured. In fact, her eye was the one that got injured. Ugh. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but something's happened in reality. You know that? Of course, she sometimes goes to a graveyard and weep for her parents. She knows that they're dead. But her brother Kyle tries to cheer her up. Oh, and for the catchphrase, I can't remember what that said. But she's shy now, since she doesn't have much of anybody to talk to. And as for Fire Element, she doesn't know how to fully yet use her powers, but Kyle's teaching her after she got better. Now that he knows that Cry won't be injured any further. Hopefully. Of course, her elemental powers will grow in time. And there's not actually much I can say for Cry as well. In fact, there's not much I can say for any character. Alright, let's move on to the teacher next. Who wouldn't want a master swordsman like Tanuki as their teacher? Of course, he could get very grumpy at times because he wants his students to be swordmasters too, but he ain't exactly a swordmaster yet. He knows how to use the sword pretty well, including with those good old counters, but he's not calling himself swordmaster just yet. And as you saw in episode 1, not the intro, but episode 1, well, you saw that he was outclassed by Alesta, which is a school bully. He did not take that very well, and so he didn't call him master just yet. Also, the tail, his white and yellow scheme, well, you can take reference to the white and yellow tail from Super Mario Bros. Special version of Tanuki that makes you invincible. You can take reference to that. But he's basically the cool one in the school. Able to cut up apples with ease. But, well, That is when they're in the air. And as for his backstory, I had the little one prepared. He used to be in a samurai dojo, trained by his former master, but was able to surpass it. Of course, he's still not calling himself mastering. He just really he really stood out during the samurai wars. And so he became teacher. To teach students how to master their powers and weaponry. And that's all I'm going to be saying about Tanoki. Let's get to the classmates now.
Hello there. My name is Alario.
That was an impersonation of him on the first episode. When I first met him at Gacha High. He was basically the first ever character for the Gacha Life little playlist that I made. And that's a good little thing too. He doesn't have much of a quote or goal, but he does like to read. A lot. Of course, there's not much to the ones with neutral abilities because they don't have a power just yet. Their power will awaken in time. But I just made this one to be a normal schoolboy, but guess what? He actually likes Lisachu. And they might get together at some point, but this is basically the little friend in the group. The other one's also a friend, but this is a little boy character I made first. Alright, let's get to Lisachu. Everyone who had Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu probably has Pikachu as their little partner. But have you ever seen a Pikachu like Lisachu as a friend? Including a female? She is the first ever female of the group that I decided to create. In fact, she is the first ever female, period. She was the second character introduced into the CJ Gacha Life story. And yeah, her tail is actually a Pikachu's tail. It's basically a fully grown up human-like version of a Pikachu. Which the first one was human. This one I decided was going to be a different type of species called a Pikachu-like species. But also human-like. And like Pikachu, if you rub the tail, it's quite shocking. I mean, it will electrocute you. Of course, she doesn't have electricity powers. But there's no such thing as electricity powers in Gacha Life. But it will shock a little. Of course, she's friends with Ario and goes to school with him. But she's accidentally run into people at sometimes. She's pretty sweet. And there's not too much to say about her. Except that you can count on her to return books when you promise to lend them. She's one of the nice kids in the school. Well, here you go. Alista, the punk girl. She had a horrible life in the past. I mean, her family members weren't even able to take care of her. Like a single reject. And now she's teaching the world how she felt. By not killing them, but making them to a point of crying. I mean, literally, she will break their will, but not their soul. Of course, when Cry was very injured to a point that she might die soon, she actually helped Cry to safety. What a nice little feminine. Of course, when I tried to get back Lucky's little doll, she stopped me and beat me up because I was acting all big and strong. I was literally acting that way. Of course, she took away Lucky herself full body and did not even harm her. She didn't lay a single finger to harm, just to make her plea for help. Like she did so many times. You do not want to be nearby her. Unless she's okay with you when you... It's actually the only way to get her single respect, make her your friend, is basically a little fight. Like some teenage kids are. She only respects those who beat her. Of course, she did help cry because she was on verge of dying and all that. Of course, she was able to teach Tanuki his place. And that's all I could say for Lisa. She really does like singing. And her little catchphrase, I will rock your world. And her goal is to show the wrongs of the world. Of humankind. She's already 19. Wow, I can't believe she's still in school. Anyway, that's all I'll talk about for her Lisa. Time to get to the villains. This creature will possibly jump scare you at any chance he gets. His name is the Scourge. Basically, it's very powerful dark entity. Totally creepy with his little dark look. He's a bad guy, obviously, but he's working for Glitchazoid time because he finds Glitchazoid as the most powerful villain at the time. So he's helping Glitchazoid fulfill the plan of conquering the world. Because this thing searches for the most evil people out in the world. And his little quote, the world will die. Of course, where he's found is the Void, along with the female dark entity. He's basically a total mystery. Except that his rarity is 5 and he's part of the dark element. Obviously. Anyway, let's get to the other one now. Scourge, can you move out of the way, please? Sure, this one may be the dark side of a female version known as Eclypse. Personality dark, relationship alone. And her special trait is a gunslinger in the group. She tries to become much better, like outmatch Scourge in power. But she's not gonna do that. But she does have one little thing. She doesn't miss. Like shooting arrow, she barely even misses. But when she does, she's extremely upset. Because she never missed before. Even on top of that building. Like in episode 3, she missed. I can't believe that. Of course, it's a good thing too, or else I would have been dead. Of course, she also lives in the Void, but she goes throughout the human world looking like a normal human being without anybody actually knowing that she's a dark entity. She looks human, alright, but she looks like a cat. She's supposed to transform into a cat sometimes whenever she needs to. That's what happened to that little black smoke in episode 3. But there's not much to these dark entities. Except they work for the darkest, most powerful creature, and that's Glitchazoid right now. And oh, Glitchazoid helps with videos. And now that's gonna be about the Scourge and Eclypse. I'll move on to the next one on our cast. And this one is gonna be different. A rough kid who just came to school during the second few episodes, basically after episode 5, when that comes. he comes in and shows Alista her place. She's basically one of the toughest kids, and he actually hides a little mark on his eye that's bleeding and scars. He's a total stranger, but he likes chopping down, but he does like chomping on burgers at the cafeteria. But of course, he's a new bad kid that you do not want to trust. But even if you do beat him, he just goes on and tries to cheat his way in a battle. Or runs. He doesn't become your friend like Alista will. And it wasn't the same backstory for this kid. He was born mean. From child to almost an adult. And now, better watch out. Because he will knock you down. Of course, there's one more member that I decided to make. And this one's actually special. You guys are probably wondering, why did I make this one? Well, it's because I think I could be able to put my favorite YouTuber into the story. But for what form he has taken, this YouTuber, no, it's Too Many Raptors, not a Gacha tuber, but just a normal gamer. I took his Kingdom Hearts form and put it into this with the 2 Keyblades, and its main color scheme is black and yellow. If you already seen his channel, I suggest you go watch that. It's pretty good. Of course, it ain't cuss free, I know that for certain, but he's kind of funny sometimes to me. But, Too Many Raptors, if you see this, just know I put you in here. You're gonna have great parts in the story. Unlike everyone else, this guy is a unknown element, because nobody actually truly knows the length of his powers. I mean, literally, he took down both Infinite and Sonic.exe. Just to let you guys know that Sonic.exe is one of my worst. It's basically a fear I just can't get out of my head. Being killed one day, that can really put you on edge. But Too Many Raptors, he was able to handle that guy with ease, because he was furious. Also, I was wanting to put his little short quote as, "Every battle with me is gonna end in death, but I'm not gonna be the one who's dying." Yeah, but it wouldn't fit. So I have to say it right now. That's, well, it's gonna be a little short quote I was gonna put for him. And I think his goal was to be in the game, and he got that pretty well. He likes eating souls, but only the dirty ones. And Too Many Raptors, he could be able to take any form from what I've seen from his channel. Of course, he did take on a human form, but I didn't see that for a long while in his video channel. I just first started seeing him in last year's summer break during 2019. And now, let's just hope he could do some great things. Great things to protect all dimensions. And claim from the darkest of threats, as he done so far in his channel. Let's hope he could protect them all. And keep the lives of the innocent happy. Alright. And that's all of the characters I made in this Gacha Life.